Third, let's look at the justice of God. Now, the justice of God is something that we are not so excited about, right? I mean, how many worship songs do we know about the justice of God? How many songs have we sung about the justice of God? I mean, there are so many songs about the love of God, so many songs about the mercy of God, about the grace of God, but how about the justice of God? We are a little, oh yeah, I mean, because if God is just, then I'm in trouble. And that's the usual reason why we are not so excited about the justice of God. But we actually all want justice, right? If you have little kids, there's always injustice, right? I mean, one kid will say to another kid, oh, you know, you have the bigger piece of cake, or you have more chips than is on my plate. There's always injustice with kids. And so when my kids do something like that, I tell them, well, life is unfair, suck it up. And then I follow up and say, well, life is unfair, you've been unfairly blessed. Because we actually are unfairly blessed. When we think about kids that are in war-torn countries, our kids are unfairly blessed. We are unfairly blessed. But there is injustice all around. When I was in my surgical residency in Kansas City, I was in surgical residency for 7 years, from 2008 to 2015. And so when I was there, we had a call schedule. And the call schedule was every third day you were on call at the hospital. And every call was 36 hours long. So it was an intense schedule that we had. And when we entered the residency, they said, well, everything evens out at the end. Which means some months you may get more call, other months you may not get as much call, but everything evens out at the end. In 2015, when I finished, I looked back and I counted, and I realized that I had taken more call than anybody else during those 7 years. There is injustice, life is unfair, and that's just the way it is. And that's just the way it is because we live in a fallen world. But God, being the God of justice, will make everything right. Let's read one verse as an example of how God makes things right. In Matthew chapter 10, verse 42, this is Jesus talking about his disciples who were going on mission. And this is what he says. In Matthew 10:42, he says, whoever gives one of these little ones even a cup of cold water, because he is my disciple, truly I say to you, he will by no means lose his reward. Every single injustice will be corrected. Every action will be rewarded or punished because injustice needs to be corrected. And it need not happen all in this life. In fact, most of the time, it's not going to get corrected in this life. This is where the atheistic view falters, because the atheistic view and the Buddhist view is that life ends at death. If life ends at death, then all injustice continues on. You see? Everything is not corrected at death.